Hi everyone, welcome to another video on the accumulation data analysis. Today we'll look at what happened for 15th of May. So let's start with the wicks. So the wicks yesterday, after making an shooting star pattern, usually shooting star is quite a powerful pattern, and whenever that is made, usually you will see a pullback. But that didn't happen actually. Today it kind of ended with the doji or a neutral candlestick. Usually neutral candlesticks we can't really make out whether the trend is turning or not, but 50% chance is there that the wicks can again start moving up from tomorrow, right? So dojis are those wherein both the bulls and bears are equally strong, and then the price kind of ends at the same level where it opened. So that is when a neutral candlestick is formed, telling us that both the bulls and the bears are equally strong. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Based on that, we'll be in a better position. Either of the two things will happen. It is either going to go down or it can continue its move up. Now coming to the FII data, the FIs have been continuously selling, so not really looking that great. So even today's data is out, the equity part, wherein they have again sold 2,800 crores worth of shares, right? And if you look at the FNO, so the FNO data today's is not there, but up to yesterday, again the same thing is happening. They continue to be bearish on the indices. Even in the futures, this thing stock specific, they have started slowly building short positions. Let's see, it is very initial stages in the stock futures, but in the indices they continue to be short, right? Both Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. Now coming to the Nifty analysis, so Nifty, the large caps, they saw a little spike in the accumulation, right? And if you look at the chart, what happened intraday was, so we kind of opened a little higher, but then we came back to the same level and just stayed there, and we kind of ended flat for the day, probably 8 points lower for the whole day, right? So just moving sideways, a kind of great day for option sellers, were not such a great day for option buyers. So a premium, just they decayed the whole thing today, right? If you look at the daily chart, so the daily chart here, it is not really such a bearish candle, neither a bullish one. So kind of a neutral, I would say, wherein although it tried entering the parallel channel, but again kind of at the bottom level, right? Not really inspiring confidence in the bulls, right? So I would say wait for another candle and then we'll decide. Probably this is because the India VIX is again trying to go higher. Probably if it goes higher again, we might see a pull down in the indices, right? So now coming to the best performing sector was the realty index. It was up almost a percent today, a little more than a percent, I would say, trying to go back up again near its all-time high. And since it is still above the 30 WMA line, still continues to be in the bullish territory. The real estate sales have been very strong, right? So bank nifty, so this does not look good. So what has happened is, in the bank nifty, after a 2 days bounce, today you are getting a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, right? So that is not such a great thing. After 2 days of bounce, again a bearish engulfing pattern, suggesting that bank nifty can again start moving lower from tomorrow, right? So whether it was just an expiry play, I doubt, but only time will tell. But this pattern, whenever it is made, it is quite a bearish one. And looking at the data also, there is no much increase in the accumulation. Chances are we can again test the bottom of the channel in the coming few days. This is for the bank nifty. Now coming to the mid cap analysis. So there is a decent spike in the accumulation data for the mid caps, and even if you look at the charts, so if you look at the charts for mid caps, it is very good. So I was telling you, right, mid caps look the best among the small and the large caps. Sorry, amongst the small caps, that is in the broader market, the mid caps look the best. So today it kind of gained almost a percent and we close at the day's high. So mid caps look very strong, even with the data is kind of pointing at more gains for the mid caps in the coming days, right? Then moving to the small cap indices, let's see what happened there. So the small caps, a small spike in the data, which is like better than the last five trading sessions. So if you look at the last five trading sessions, right? So today's data is like the best amongst the last 5 days. But here, so today's video is a little late because I was fetching the distribution data for the small and mid caps. And if you look at it, the highs that we were making around that 26th, 29th, 30th, right? Second, third. So around that level, if you look at the distribution data, it was around that 150 odd levels, right? After that, the main distribution actually happened and then we started falling, right? So after we fell, there was no real distribution that was happening around, let's say, 8th, 9th, 10th, 13th, 14th. But again today the distribution data has kind of spiked up, right? And not such a great sign. If you look at the stocks being distributed are on a little higher side, but still mid cap accumulation is on a decent thing, right? So I would prefer playing the mid caps as of now because the chart also looks great, the data is also good. Here it's a mix of both the small and mid cap distribution, right? So now if you look at the chart of the small cap index, so it has given us a shooting star pattern, right? After almost touching the resistance that it has around that 16,568, you are seeing a bearish reversal pattern. And also what is a little worrying sign is the distribution is also kind of increased. So with the distribution going up and you getting a reversal candle, chances are that the small cap index might go lower, right? It can again have a pull down from the current levels, looking at how the data is pointing at. So although there is a very small increase in the accumulation, there is like even larger increase in the distribution. So like I was telling you in yesterday's video or even before that, that the market is becoming stock specific. So not everything is going to run, and on any given day there are going to be stocks that are going to be accumulated, there are going to be stocks that are being distributed. You can't have just accumulation stocks, just distribution on a particular day. So both are going to happen simultaneously. We have to kind of figure out which one is heavier, right? If the distribution is more, chances are the indices might start coming down, but it depends on that day also, the sentiment on that day. What I would suggest is be stock specific, don't just buy anything and everything, play them based on their data and you should do well. So conclusion, the Nifty and the bank nifty looks quite bearish, Nifty is kind of still figuring out what to do, right? But both of them, I don't see a great rally coming in both of them as of now, right? And in the small caps and the mid caps are better placed with the accumulation as well as the chart. Small caps a little concerning with the data also pointing at distribution and a bearish reversal, that is a shooting star candle being formed on the index, right? Hopefully this helps. I'll see you tomorrow evening after the day's closing. Thank you.